Mm-mm.
Messing up that brim like that. I can't mess the brim up like this. Oh no. Oh no. Cannot mess up that brim game like that. Shout out to BMO Bag Money Only. 100 Wave King, you dig? Hey bro. Get this thing right though. Ah, there we go. A little bit better. Yes, yes. Top of the evening, loved ones. Top of the evening. Today, we are here for the Respectfully Great podcast. I'm super pumped, super ecstatic. I am happy that you are here with me today. And we are going to have a wonderful, dope episode. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Today's a great topic. Expect the unexpected. And man, what I want to tell you is that there's so many things that always happens by happenstance. What's up, Jen? How you doing? There's so many things that happen by happenstance, and one just actually occurred. It's one it says still can't get right. What's up, loved one? Still can't get right. What's up, loved one? We talking about expect the unexpected. So many things occur when you least suspect it. And I've been going through these transformations. What's up, Lizzie? Lizzie in the building. Family, absolutely, God. There's so many things that have been transpiring, happening every day, and there's so many life lessons that I get a chance to learn, grow through, and I love to share these sentiments and these experiences with you because I know I'm not the only one that's going through these things. So it's a beautiful thing when we can come and have an open forum talking about some of the things that we all experience, just life happenings every day, and how do we figure out how to get through them, share our experiences, share the things that we are going through, transformational things, changes. 100 Wave King in the building. BMO, Bag Money Only, baby bro, he's in the building. What's up, God? Yes, we are having a wonderful show today, wonderful episode, and we are talking about expect the unexpected. How many things that transpire in our life, in our livelihood, in our lives that things just pop up and happen. Like, wait, where did that come from? Prior even starting the show today, I love using real life situations in real time and let you know today the show. Yes, the show must go on. Being resilient, being able to adapt. All of these things are innate in us, but gives us the ability to still go out there and complete tasks. Um, I learned so many things over the weekend, over the week, because it's still midweek, but it's my Friday. Because normally, for my 9 to 5 job, I have off on Thursdays and Fridays, which is today and tomorrow. So I experienced things during the course of the week where I'm going to share some insight on how I expected the unexpected, how I got through it, and thereafter of some of the things I look forward to in the near future about myself, the environment, the space, and how we able to get to and from. I love to say that slogan to and from because we are always coming from a place and going to another unless we are stagnated, unless we are positioned with concrete legs and not able to move and just embodied in stillness. So those things happen, those things occur. And I want to really, really just uh dive into these things. So today, for anybody, you know what? I love to do a wellness check. How is everybody out there doing in real time? I need to see those emojis. Let me know. You can type the words out. You can send the emoji. You can send thumbs up. You can send the fire emoji. You can say good, great, happy, sad, going through some things, some struggles. You can be honest, open if you choose to be, and you're not going to be judged. This is a no judge, safe free zone. We non-judgmental over here. We always going to be truthful and transparent because we know that um leading with truth in our spaces allow us to get to newfound truths. So I want to know how you guys are feeling out there today. Are you feeling good? Great. You in a thinking mode. You are transitioning, living day by day. Yes, sir, loved one. Living day by day. That's a powerful, powerful statement. That's the approach of someone that is still going through life with figuring it out. And when I say that, I mean that every day is a figuring out task. We all think we have all of the bells and whistles figured out. But when you take it day by day, it actually slows things down for us. I know I love to take things day by day because it allows me to grow in those moments, allow me to see things that I, normally don't get a chance to see because I'm moving too fast. I always had this slogan in the back of my mind from Lisa. She used to tell me all the time, say, Mr. Reed, slow down and smell the flowers. So I put this through my mind and I talk about it so often because I want that to be a constant reminder when I see comments about living day by day and understand that my life, like my life, it's crazy. I say life and life. I say livelihood and life, and I always come to like a middle space where I'm like lie. So every time you hear me say life, sometimes it'd be like life together. Um, uh, but it allows me to stay in a space of being appreciative and showing immense amount of gratitude towards the things I encounter and come up against. Lizzie says, um, going through it, but God has a plan. Mm, I love that. I love that, Lizzie. I love that. Prayers out to my bro Dave K, aka Diamond D. Absolutely. Unlimited amount of love transgressed to my cousin, loved one. Um, he knows we love him unconditionally. We're gonna still do what we need to do as a family, as a unit, and be there for one another. And these are the things when we talk about expect the unexpected, this is how some of the things work in our lives. Sometimes some things just occur and we can't figure out why or how. Understand that everything that happens in our life is for a bigger purpose. I learned the term the other day. Pude says in my 2-3, he's in the zone, he's in his bag. 100 Wave King, he's in his 2-3 big Fendi. When we're talking about things that happen unexpectedly, there's a term that I um got real familiar with, and I mention it weekly, every day. Well, every chance I get an opportunity to expound about it, I use the term because I'm a big advocate of being an action taker, somebody that puts things into practice, being a practitioner of putting things to use in real time, not just being the person that's just absorbing the things around me and not putting them to use because my whole premise for me doing what I do is to get from a place of where I'm at to another place in my life to where I can be able to offer and be the best version of myself, being and maximizing my potential. So it's always a continuum of learning the spaces that I'm in and I occupy and utilizing the information that I do get in real time and being able to um, exercise that thought, exercise that practice, put it in real time. When we say expect the unexpected, word very unexpected. Absolutely, family. It makes you realize how things come in our lives and how things just change and take a different trajectory. When I was talking about the term that I was real familiar with, and I got an opportunity to constantly use the term is called serendipity, and it's so not ironic, but things the universe has a way to speak to us in so many profound ways. And when you get opportunity to sit still and listen in those moments where you have peace, quiet, in the midst of chaos, you isolate yourself. Isolation. I was talking to my brother Parker earlier, and we was talking about isolation. There's so many things that you able to learn, and you so many things you're able to learn in the time and the space of isolation. Last week we were talking about doing nothing on purpose. That subject matter for the last pod came out of, okay, what do you do when you bored? And initially, we find things to entertain ourselves with. We go grab the telephone, we go grab and do something, or just trying to f- feed that dopamine, feed that energy in our body that want to exert something. We want to be busy in the moments of stillness. So, what I learned to do is be still, be in isolation. What I started to learn when I came across the word serendipity, I started to understand that when things happen in our lives, there's an occurrence that happened that's unexpected. In the moment, it feels heavy. It feels like there's no way out. It feels like there's no way I'll be able to get through this. And we question ourselves on why, how, who put this bad omen on me? What you're allowed to do in those moments of despair, confusion, um, you get opportunity to sit with oneself, and you get a chance and opportunity to reflect. The serendipity word is comes with the full analogy is that something happens by happenstance, by chance, and in the end, it's for a greater good. It's for a greater good. How can turmoil, chaos, heart wrenching, pressure, confusion, all of these questions can add up to a greater good? How is that possible? How how is it that we go through things in our lives and we come to a crossroad where we don't have the answers? We don't have the answers. And now we forced to make sense of something that we can't make sense of. We are forced to make sense of something that we can't make sense of. What I've been learning to do is start putting more trust within oneself. Start relying on me, getting a better understanding of who I am, looking within. A lot of times we go and we pray to God, whoever he, she, they, them may be in your life, whoever that deity may serve, whoever that entity is. If you're an atheist and you believe in no God, whoever you feel the big God is, myself included, consider myself being one of those entities, thinking like a God, part of the whole. That's who I look at God in the representation of who I am in my life. When I start to take that road and start looking within, things that were so confusing to me start to make some sense. And even when I get confused on things not adding up, I get a sense of relief of understanding that, hey, these are some of the questions that I never asked myself. Self Lord and Master, absolutely. Self Lord and Master, me, absolutely, loved one. I get to a point where I got to start building up some levels of trust. If I was a person that never had trust, these are the moments where you start to build them. When there's no left, you can look, no right, you can look. You can't call upon whoever you want to call upon to come serve you in that moment, and nobody's knocking at that door. You are left with self. You are left with self. And then now you have the opportunity to start to evaluate self. Good, bad, or indifferent. Not just looking for the flaw, we looking for the answer. What I was learning from one of these monks, right? He's been a master. I was watching him on Stephen Bartlett's show, and his name is, I can't think of his name, I can't recall it offhand. But he mentioned something that was super, super profound. And this concept allows me to be more and more comfortable with me, no matter what outside circumstances are happening in the moment and in real time. So he said something. He said, yes, I am a master. I am a monk. I have prayed. I've done all of the studies. I did all these things in my life. Slim, what's up, loved one? I've done all these things in my life. And there was something that I learned from all of the X amount of masters that I was, under tutelage of. I learned so many things from them. But there was one thing that all of those masters couldn't teach me. And he said, do you want to know what that one thing is? So me as a listener, like, yeah, tell me the one thing. Let me know. I want to know the one thing. And what he said was, out of all of the information that I received from all of those masters, they couldn't teach me how to structure it to work for me and my better and greater good for my life. That is the key. Out of all of the information that we have, the trials, the tribulations, the ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows, the yangs, the good, the bad, the evil, the prosperity, all of these things that have the dual opposite. We experience these things, but can no one person structure it to work for you but you? What I started to understand is that out of all of the information, all of the things that I've seen, all of my experiences, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, I had to take each one of these situations and learn how to use it to my better and greater good. What did this lesson teach me? What jewel can I extract from this hardship? Today it was raining outside. I didn't have an umbrella. I got soaking wet. What did I learn about going outside without an umbrella? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Preparedness. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. When you're traveling, when I'm traveling, there are certain things that are necessities that I have to carry with me. We call it an umbrella to dodge the rain. What's up, Black? Footable car rentals in the building. We call carrying an umbrella to avoid and stop the rain. But let me share this with you. Every day that we step outside of our house, we always got to be prepared. Let me say that one more time. Every day that we step outside of our house, we always have to be prepared. You know why we always have to be prepared? Because there are things that are unexpected that's going to happen. The rain just came out of nowhere, like you in Florida. It could rain out of nowhere. It literally could rain on one side of the road and the other side be super sunny and dry. What I'm saying is that in our lives, we have to start preparing ourselves with proper preparation prevents poor performance. We got to start equipping ourselves to go outside in the real world and expect the unexpected. Meaning that if we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. What am I actually saying? I'm saying that there are going to be some occurrences that happen in our lives that we didn't prepare for. But now we have to figure out a solution to this very big problem. What I want to reassure you is every problem is solvable. Every problem that occurs in our lives, everything that we come up against, there is a solution. Understand that not one condition can live or exist without its opposite. Let me say that one more time. Not one condition can live nor exist without its opposite. Let me explain. When you have a slice of bread, There's always two sides. When you have a coin, there's always two sides. How could we ever possibly know what good looked like if we didn't experience or understand what evil looks like? How can we ever know what up looks like if we never experience what down looks like? Definitions. Definitions. How we choose to define things creates our reality. How we choose to define things creates our reality. They say speak with the tongue and it should reveal the truth. The power of the tongue comes to fruition. A lot of times, unbeknownst to us, we speak our reality every day. Every day we speak our reality. I heard something super profound from one of my coaches, Coach Lucky. And I thought this was an enigma, puzzling. To me, it was like puzzling. But I know it's truth. So my brother was like, we always get caught up in using our words and don't really focus on the reality aspect that we create from speaking our words. He said that he can't even recall the last time he has been sick. He said years and years, no runny nose, no cough, none of these things. And he said, well, how could you possibly do that? He said, because I wake up every day with a preconceived notion and a mindset that I am always healthy. I am always healthy. And people may say, well, that's impossible because everybody gets sick, right? That's the story that we run behind. That's some of the narrative that we create. But that's impossible. To whom? See, we don't understand that ideally one can have some symptoms of being under the weather. How you treat that condition mentally affects the body. A lot of times we don't understand that whatever's going on upstairs creates the reality. Any condition that happens in reality starts with a thought first. Everything that's around us, love your nails, what's up, loved one? Everything that's around us starts with a thought. I bring this analogy up, the mic that I'm speaking through. This was somebody's divine intervention. This was somebody else's thought. This was somebody else's creativeness. How about my canteen? Take this for an example. Somebody created this. Wasn't me. But before it came into the physical, it was created here in the mental. What am I saying? I'm saying that everything starts with the thought, how we think, how we speak, how we define things, the terminology that we use. It gives meaning. The conversations that we have, positive, negative, who's the judge? How you define that last conversation that you had with so-and-so? Was it one of being informative? Was it one of progression? Or was it one of, oh, I don't like him or her, or she did this, or they not like that, or my finances ain't this? We speak these things into reality. And I understand that we all are dealing with the realities that we created. Because let's not get this thing twisted. Everybody is born with some condition in the sense of environment, place, color, creed, family origin, religious background or not, some psychology behind dealing with family things, money, finances. We are born into some of these situations, right? As we get older, we have free will to exercise this, the mind. You know who has control over the mind? Whoever we give the power to. Let me say that one more time. Whoever has control over your mind is by choice who you give the power to. Sometimes we give it to some of our parents that had the stronghold on us. Sometimes we give it to a partner in a relationship. Sometimes we give it to our children. Sometimes we give it to our jobs. Sometimes we give it to the money we chasing. Sometimes we give it to our vices or the things that we are just interested in. That's who control this from the power that you give it, the power that you give to whoever or that entity, that thing. What am I saying? I'm saying that our situations can start to change if we start to prepare this first. Every day when we walk outside of our homes, there may be a car that zoomed past unexpectedly. But what if you just understood that expecting the unexpected, that things will occur? And what I need to have full autonomy over is oneself. Who I need to have governance over is oneself. Who's that thing, person that I have to master? Oneself. How do we start to do these things? We can start taking the occurrences that happen in our lives and start to extract the lessons from those things that we needed to learn. The bad thing that happened. Uh, the children going to school. The dog ate my homework. You heard that story before. The dog ate my homework. Ha. Okay. Us being parents say, the dog ate your homework, huh? The teacher say your dog ate your homework, huh? How about we put the dog in the cage next time? Let me see what excuse you're gonna come up with next. The cat ate my homework. Oh, the cat now. We start seeing these patterns because we didn't figure out yet that the power we give into everything else, we lack in the self-control now. We don't think for oneself now. We don't have governance or autonomy over oneself now because mentally somebody else got our mind. Can we do? Can we not do? That's the choice that we all have, free will, depending on will you exert that energy or who has that stronghold on over your mind. What I'm saying is that we need to start strengthening the ability to think. Prudence. First, let's bring it back to agency. Agency is being able to make a decision. Being able to make a simple decision. Very, very hard for people. Deciding just to make a choice. Very, very difficult. What do you want to eat for dinner? What do you want to eat for dinner? What you want to eat for dinner? What you want to eat for dinner? I like that. What you want to eat for dinner? No, what you want to eat for dinner? We keep bouncing off the idea of someone else speaking for oneself, not autonomy. Yeah, we could call it courtesy. Want to have everybody in the mix. I get that. I understand. Paying it forward, being somebody that's lenient, or in the sense of, one for all for one, having a mindset that inclusion is a great thing. I believe so. But before we can have inclusion, have many people on one accord, the person that you got to get in alignment with first is you. Tatum Sub Love One, Trinity in the building. The person that you need to get in alignment before we start bringing everybody else together as a collective is you. You got to be in alignment with oneself first. So, big blessings. I love you unconditionally. Thank you. Thank you, sis. So, when we speaking about giving our power away, it starts with, we're talking about agency, giving our power away. It's because first we got to be able to make a decision, deciding first. After we decide, we start leveling up, called a term called prudence. Prudence is the quality decisions that we start to make after we start having agency, being able to make a decision. Then we come up against a term called prudence, which is having a quality of decisions that we make. How do we start making more higher quality decisions? It's learning from all of the experiences that we already have gone through, whether they were favorable or not. There is something that we can learn from that occurrence. This is how we start building more trust within oneself, because now we got the confidence to say, hey, I've seen this before. I recognize this pattern. There's something that's happening that I've seen before with this particular thing. We start building up some levels of trust. Not only do we start building up levels in trust within oneself, but we start to become more knowledge based of things, and being able to recognize patterns in things. Start seeing how some of the habits that we carry, in habits and occurrences and things that we see, all the different intangibles, we can just start seeing and recognize some of these things from afar. Oh, I've seen what happens when somebody runs a red light. Whew, they might have got passed. They might have just only received a ticket or not, or a car accident. Following the rules to some things. Everything around us has laws of nature. There are laws that define our existence, how we do things. The law of gravity, gravitational pull. What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. When you're dealing with gravity, you go up in space, different laws. No gravity in space, so you float, right? So what I'm saying is, once we start to become more familiar with who we are, where we have been, we start making decisions, having prudence, making more quality decisions, learning from our occurrences, good, bad, or indifferent. We start building up a knowledge base. We start building up a database of some of this information to now we can utilize for a greater good. Expecting the unexpected. Let me just ask you this question. Have you ever been caught off guard, caught by surprise? Something just happened and you like, whoa, I definitely didn't expect that. Can anybody identify a time or an occurrence to where something has happened and you didn't know how or where this came from? I'll give you a second while I sip this good old, drink. MVP Cosmetics in the building, sub love one. I've had unexpected things occur at various times in my life. Some things that, initially we dealing with the word serendipity. Initially, I thought it was the worst thing on the planet at the time. Man, my car broke down. Caught a flat tire. On my way to a family gathering on the highway, already pushing the time, running a little bit late. Flat tire. I'm in my new drip, feeling good, dripped up. Now I gotta pull out the spare tire from the trunk, get on my knees, pump the car up, dirty up the jeans, whatever, shirts, etc. That happened to me a few times. One time, even in the rain, unexpected occurrence. What came after that? I couldn't understand it in the moment, right? What what happened when that time? There was something that I know that I wasn't as late that I thought I was gonna be. There's something that happened from that. Yeah. So when I caught the initial flat tire, took the spare. Come to find out that on that tire itself, the inside, although I caught the initial tire from a nail, the inside of the tire was ripping. So what I'm saying is that it could have been a worse blowout on the highway had not I caught that initial nail in the tire to allow me to switch the tire out in totality. There was a greater good that happened after that occurrence. Initially, I'm thinking it's the worst thing in the world. How did this happen? I'm going to a family function. I can't be late. They waiting on me. They're waiting on the noodles I'm gonna bring. They wait, whatever the case may be. It's just I wasn't in attendance at that time because I caught a flat tire. Initially, that tire that got popped, when he looked and examined the tire, the inside was ripping down to the metal. Your boy was literally riding to the wheels fall off. It would have been a scary situation being on the highway and your tire pop and blow out. Other cars may be around. Possibility of accidents, hurting yourself, hurting others. These are some of the things that we talking about uh expecting the unexpected, and we dealing with the word serendipity, something or a happenstance that happens, on an occurrence that happens, and then on the back end, it happened for a greater good that we didn't see. Expecting the unexpected. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Being prepared to the best of the ability. Equipping yourself when you leave your home. Equipping yourself with the mindset. Equipping ourselves with the progressive language. Equipping ourselves with the progressive language. What you speak about, you bring about. You want things to change in your life, but we speak negativity. Where does positivity come into play? We speak down on others. So how you expect other people and yourself to lift oneself up? Doesn't happen. You're a practitioner and an advocate of negativity. It tends to attract more negativity. So you be in this space of wanting to change that. How about we start implementing more positive things in our lives? Mentally, spiritually, the tonality, what we use in our language, how we speak, how we have conversations with other individuals, what conversations that you have within oneself. How are you looking from within? Do you want to exert that outwardly? Because everything that we see around us was created by someone, initially, even you. Although I didn't create the mic, I had the thought when I've seen someone else with it, hey, I want to acquire that as well. So it was a thought that came across my mind, said, hey, go buy that mic. Here it is. It started initially with a thought. Now it's in fruition in real time. These things happen every day of our lives. And we can't understand for the life of us. We keep looking for things outside of us to fix some of the problems that we have in our own lives, and not understanding that it comes from the thought and the things that we see from within. Everything else is just expressed outwardly. Initially, the thoughts come from within. So you wanting to change, you want to be in a position of um whatever you desire. You first have to start thinking it, then associating yourself in environments with it. Start speaking it, holding conversations around it. Start reading, start delving yourself into the midst of what that subject matter or thought process is, or that thought initially, you know, whatever that space or idea that encompasses. You have to be in the midst of it. It's like being in a mosh pit. Everybody's going around, but you're right in the middle of the mosh pit. That's how you got to be able to be in your purpose. Be in the middle of the mosh pit of purpose. That's what you have to do in order to be. You have to be, do, be, have, do more, be more, have more. You have to become already here mentally. Be more, do more. You do more, have more. You have to become the thing. Your behavior is attached to it. Everything is associated with behavior. You got to act in accordance to who you want to be. If you want to be somebody that's trustworthy, you have to act as a trustworthy person. That means that when you have times to tell the truth, you choose not to lie. You choose to act out and tell the truth if that's what you want to do. If you want to be a trustworthy person, if you want people to look at you and deem you as somebody of trust, you have to act that out. That means that you can't be dishonest in the presence or in a time on occurrence where you have the opportunity to be truthful, and you choose to tell the lie. Nobody gonna buy into that ideology. Even oneself, you faking yourself out because that's something that you don't want to embody. You want to be that star athlete. What does that require? Going to the gym, getting up hours of the day, exercising when everybody else is sleeping, running those routes, shooting the hoops, doing gymnastics, doing flips, doing the things that other people that are not in your field, not in the mosh pit of purpose, are doing. Excuse me. We have to be in the midst of that. But it all starts with the thought. The body don't move without the mind. You cut what they say, you cut the head off, you kill the body. And excuse me for the terminology because I know YouTube and all these things. So in due time, when I start to do some of my editing and stuff in post-production, I'll be able to bleep some of these things out because I know they're real sensitive around these topics and subject matters. And I don't mean it in a negative connotation, but I'm just saying that ideally, using the terminology, and I'm just aware. So, but they said remove the head and then you off the body. So what do I mean? I mean that it starts here. You move the body from the mind. The body starts to move from the mind. So we got to strengthen mind. Laura Boyd. Let me get back to Laura Boyd. Right now, this is what I'm going to do. Hold that thought, loved ones. I got to play a word from our sponsors. Where's our sponsors at? Hold your seats. Here's a word from one of our sponsors. Peace, beloveds. Thank you for tuning in to the Respectfully Great podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reed, and I appreciate your continuous support. Do you know that over 80% of the people that watch our channel aren't subscribed? By subscribing to our channel, you give us the opportunity to bring on more guests to add more value to our channel. To join our growing community, head over to respectfullygreat.com, sign up for our email list to get exclusive updates on empowering blogs, as well as the latest and greatest in Respectfully Great fashion. Once again, it's nothing but big love, and we value your commitment. Man, that was powerful. Shout out to our sponsors from respectfullygreat.com. Super dope products over there. Super intrinsic value content. We have so many great blogs, so many latest and greatest in that drip. You go over there, shop today, and you won't be disappointed. This is some of the great things that we offer on our platform, which is growing, and we want you to be a part of our community. So once you go out there and just subscribe, sign up so you get the latest and notifications. You'll be able to get everything first. You'll be notified first. Also, sign up to the YouTube channel at Respectfully Great. Get your subscription. Tap into the subscription. So every time we drop something dope, you'll be able to get the first wind of it. We appreciate you in advance. Just want to have that as a constant reminder. We appreciate you in advance. So thank you for our sponsors at Respectfully Great. Super, super dope. Shooting commercials. Cuzzo. Affordable car rentals. Yes, yes. It's my brother in the building. Go shop at Affordable Car Rentals as well. You know, I love to shout out my people, my loved ones. We have great, great vehicles, all 5 boroughs up in here in New York. Listen, you want to go out there, you need a vehicle, stuck somewhere, phone call away. Car rentals, affordable car rentals will be at your service. Go tap in with my loved ones over there because they will serve you in no other way that you've never been served before at the highest level. So go shout out and go shoot over anytime you need to hop in the vehicle. Affordable car rentals is the place to go. Never mind the other ones. Affordable car rentals is the place to go. Back to subject matter, we was talking about strengthening the mind. There's a lady by the name of Laura Boyd. I was watching her content, some things that I came across on uh YouTube. She's a keynote speaker on the TED Talk. You put in Laura Boyd, and she was talking about how we strengthen the mind. How do we build up this massive of a muscle that's going on up here that most people, you know, find it as an enigma. It's puzzling. They don't understand, like, how does the mind work? There's so many complexities. They say that we only use 10-20% of our brain. That means that's 80% of this functionality that's going on is not the use, not functioning. So imagine if we're able to tap in and strengthen that. But there are ways to strengthen it. Of course, with it's the proper nutrition, the things we eat, the things we watch, the things we put inside of our minds affect everything. Laura Boyd was saying this. She said that the way we start to connect those neurons, excuse me, the way we start to connect those neurons in the brain, how we become more strengthened thinkers, start being and maximizing the potential of oneself. The way we start to do those things is by actually doing more difficult tasks. Let me say that again. The way we start to strengthen the mind and the brain is by actually doing more difficult and strenuous tasks. That's how we start building up the neurons inside of our brain, start connecting those things, and start being more thought provoking, creative specimens of human beings. Is what we start to do when we start to strengthen the mind, when we start having agency, being able to think. Then we start tapping into prudence, the quality of decisions. How do we start building these things up? We start doing the unexpected things. We don't get complacent by doing the routine things, the habitual things that enable us to build up nothing but levels of comfort, that coddling aspect. We start to remove those things when we start to do more difficult tasks. Key. That means that if you never stepped in the water before, because you're in the pool, you're in the two feet pool, 2 foot pool. Never mind a shark out there. How about we just step the foot in it first to understand that, hey, this is a pool. I'm not in the ocean yet. Progressively, I could work my way up to the ocean. But let me get comfortable putting my foot in the water, even though it's uncomfortable initially. What happens is when we start to do things over time, we start to build up levels of tolerance. Tolerance, 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 tolerance. The more we start doing the layups, we get more proficient at doing the layups. The more we start doing concentrated, difficult tasks with intention, oh man, we start to build up tolerance. The first times that we do it is going to be difficult. I love the quote by Myron Golden says that he never signs a level of difficulty when you do things. He never signs a level cool. He never signs a level of difficulty when he do things. He never signs and never assigns a level of difficulty when he approaches and do things. I think that is super, super profound. And I think that that thought in itself allows you to go and approach things from a obviously a subjective because it's your thought, right? What's up, Nikki? Congratulations, Nikki, to the fourth one on the road, the grandbaby. Jared got the baby coming. Absolutely love one. Yes, yes. Congratulations. Yes, yes. Um, that's where we want to be at. That's that's how we start to grow. Don't sign the level of difficulty to things, meaning that we start to build up our levels of tolerance the more that we do a thing. We are practitioners. We are creatures of habit, creatures of habit, creatures of habit. The more we start to do things, the more we start to build up levels of tolerance. So that means that if you're uncomfortable going into the water, how about we step foot in the water one day and then step foot in it the next day, and then continue the pattern of doing these things repetitiously, because repetition is going to outbeat anything else that not is in alignment with someone being consistent. We talked about you can have the greatest player on earth being the specimen at whatever thing that they're chewing that they, God gave them the leverage in. God gave this person a God-given talent. What happens when the talent doesn't work? They get outbeat by the C player, the consistent C player, the person that shows up and just willing to do the job. I was when I was talking to Corey, and Corey said, "Yo, give me the dirty jobs, the jobs that nobody wants. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to clean, and I'm going to have the sparkling touch at the end, because that every time I get approached with things that people say that they don't want to do, give me those things. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna outperform, because I love the difficulty. You know what happens when you start going out there and doing things that are difficult? You start building up those neurons Laura Boy was talking about. You start connecting the neurons. You start building up those levels of agency. You start building up that prudence. You start building up uh 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 you start maximizing your potential. You start to grow. You're building up your tolerance. That's what starts to happen. So now when we start doing the thing, we get comfortable doing the thing, because now it seems easy. But people don't know that you did 1,000 layups today. You shot 1,000 jump shots. Man, it was difficult doing my homework, but I seen this work before, and I was doing it for hours on end, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. Then what happens is when you get approached with homework, I know I have a formula set in place in order to allow me to do the thing. Now I know, okay, before I go in there and do my homework, give me my little snack, my little water, and it's work time. Head in the books, do the thing like Jerry Seinfeld says, is, you know what? Every day what he does is he lock himself inside of a room, and he doesn't come out until he finishes or do nothing at all. The only thing he can do in the room is write down some he can write down some comedy sketches or skits, or only thing he could do in that room is nothing but comedy. Write down or prepare anything for comedy. Other than that, the pen got to be down. He can't do nothing else. No phone, no outside distractions, nothing. But he do this at least for an hour to 2 hours every day. That's why the comedy comes out the way it comes out, because he build up the tolerance doing it every day. Sometimes it may not come out the way you like. Sometimes you may have to throw some things to the scrap, crumble up the paper, throw in the trash. That happens. But what happens when you're doing these things repetitiously? You start to outperform, outperform. This is what happens when people get complacent and they don't want to do the work. You can be the greatest player on earth. That's why they tell you, yeah, the greatest players that play the sports aren't in that league. They may be on the corner. They may be somewhere else, but they not, 9 times out of 10, they may not be in that arena performing the way they need to perform, because the ones that are there in the arena performing, not only did they have the talent, they worked as well. They worked as well. We can't skip out on the work. A lot of times we think we just good enough to show up, and ideally, you are a great, wonderful, God-given entity. But that's where it stops if you're unwilling to do the work, because the world won't be able to be exposed to your talents or your gifts if you're not willing to work and exercise those things. No, you got the leverage that nobody else has. You got that God-given talent. You got things about you that other people just don't possess. But what happens if you don't work or exercise that? You're not giving your talent to the world. You're not blessing the world with your talent. You're not giving us what we need from you, because you got something to offer. But the only person that can make that choice, since we got free will, is who? You. What happens when we don't make these choices? Wasted talent. Now we feel like we're not purpose driven. We're not creating our purpose. We're not in the mosh pit of purpose. We can, if we start to think we can, and then we start to work on it every day, repetitiously, building up our levels of tolerance. So now that we can maximize our potential, growth starts to happen. Growth starts to happen. And then what happens in your life? You get to bear the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your hard work, the labor, the fruits of your labor. You miss out the labor aspect. We think that everything gonna come to us. Don't happen like that in the real world. So sometimes the unexpected is really the gift that's hidden. The unexpected is the gift that is hidden because it teaches us things that we need to be prepared for. How are we ever going to prepare for something that we don't know what to look for? That means that we go outside of our house preparing to the best of our ability. And there are going to be some things that we encounter that we didn't prepare for. But what happens when you get met with the unexpected? It's what you wanted the whole time. So now that we met with the unexpected, we can extract the lesson from the unexpected, put that here in the memory bank. And next time we leave our house, we got one more thing that added to our preparedness. So now my proper preparation prevents poor performance gets strengthened. Now when I leave the home today, I am strengthened. I'm equipped with more tools, more skill sets, more wherewithal, more awareness, more tolerance, more discipline, more agency, more prudence. We can maximize our potential now. This is a progressive and a continuum. This is something that happens when you initially step in the water. We think about the sharks in due time. Understand that there are sharks in water. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to find the shark in the kiddie pool. So what we do is get comfortable with putting our foot in the water first. And then now, when we start going into the next rivers, okay, they may have some things in hand that I didn't prepare for. Okay, but let me put on, the water shoes initially first. Step out there. Okay, that's the first step. I got 1 foot there, got 2 foot in there. Oh, that was a spike. There was a rock right there. Okay, understand that there's rocks. I'm going to be a little soft footed. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I just stepped on a hardback or something that's in the water. I just stepped in something that was just spiky or something. I got to be delicate. I can't just stomp and cause chaos. We know that when you start splashing in some of these other infested waters with some of these predators, like gators or whatnot, you attract them. So we got to understand that it's all about learning the law of the land, being practitioners of action, stepping out there initially first, and then learning as you go. There are going to be some things that's unexpected, but now that'll equip us for the next go round. Now I learned something from this. I got a lesson that was taught here. I put that up here in the memory bank. Now I understand what this looked like. Now I'm prepared better than I was the day before. Now I can build up my tolerance just by doing it every day. I was watching this guy. I told you I watch a lot of survival shows. They say I shouldn't be alive, right? Community Strong. What's up, loved one? Community Strong. This weekend, Community Strong is going to have a great, wonderful event on Saturday. Please show up, show out, donate, do what you can to go out there and support your community in the town, Morgan's Park, Glen Cove, New York. Tap in. It's gonna be a wonderful event. Been going on for years. We have some great brothers behind it. Londell Willer, Dustin Harvey, great individuals. My brothers, they do their thing, and I'm super, super proud and ecstatic to just be a part of it in the ways that I can be a part of it. So that's a dope thing. My sister Quay will be out there as well doing her thing. I can't wait. Super pumped, super ecstatic. It's going to be a dope, dope, dope event. That's this weekend, this Saturday. Show up, show out. Do your thing, loved ones. Do your thing. Just be more prepared. Start putting more trust in oneself. Start believing in who you are. Let's start going into the mosh pit of purpose. Let's start going out there believing and knowing. Let's go out there and start believing and knowing, because you have it all. Everything that you looking for, see, things don't start to come into our spaces in our lives if we don't maximize what we already have. We keep wanting more. We need to sometimes scale back. You don't want the $1 million, the big house, the mansion, but you can't manage the budget of, just eating food every day. You may overspend on, your breakfast. You may spend $40, $50 on breakfast, but you want to own the home. It requires some levels of discipline, because you spending $40, $50 just on breakfast, you still got 2-3 meals for the rest of the day. That might be, your whole salary that you're working for every day, or that may be only money you're bringing in from your business. What about if you scale that down a little bit? You say, you know what? Let me not spend X amount of dollars. Let's prepare some of the food at home. Save a couple of dollars. That's what I've been doing. Keeping 1,000 wow. I used to buy Starbucks every day, every morning. What I started to do is I say, hey, I like this type of drink. Got the canteen, fill this thing up with ice, bring the drink from the crib. Saving some money on. That money I can actually tuck, put under the mattress. I can go and invest that, put that into the S&P. I can do a lot of other things with that $10 every day. May not seem like nothing, but we know things compound over time. Things compound over time. $10 a day, 30 days in a month, 300 in the S&P 500, or invest it, or tucked under the mattress for a rainy day, or going out for a meal, enjoying myself, buying something for me, someone else, etc. But it don't got to go to, supporting just my drink alone in itself. So it's just being able to utilize the information that we get is primarily what I'm talking about today. When we talk about expecting the unexpected, there are going to things that happen, serendipity. I can only look at things from the perspective that of how I see them. And I see that every occurrence, good, bad, or indifferent, is a teachable one. It's a teachable one. It's one that we can learn from. It's one that we can learn to prepare ourselves better for the days after. Because there was something in the midst of that conversation. There was something in that one thing that I've experienced, the hardship. There was something in that great thing that I've experienced. There's something in, some of the letdowns that I had in my life. I understood and I understand now that there are gonna be some things that just happen. And I don't want to adopt the philosophy of having a victimhood mindset. I am not the victim. I am the victor. I am not the victim. I am the victor, meaning that I'm going to come out on top because mentally, I don't give the power away to nobody but oneself. So we have to start trusting and believing in that. We have to start looking around and say, you know what? Hey, although I went through X, Y, and Z, there was something that I needed to learn from that. But when that one thing happens over and over and over and over again, you say, well, what's going on here? You just ain't learned a lesson yet. You just ain't learned a lesson yet. If you find yourself in the same positions all the time, in the same positions, you haven't moved past that point because you didn't learn what you needed to learn from that occurrence. You're not going to be able to move on and add more to your plate and get those next doors open or the next opportunity until you maximize the potential in what we already have. Understand what's going on around you. Learn from it. And then once you learn from it, I love the other quote by Coach Lucky said as well. He said, we grow into things and then we eventually grow out of them. Powerful, powerful, powerful. We grow into things and then we eventually grow out of them. Meaning that, yes, there's going to be some unfamiliar territory. There's going to be some unexpected things that you just unaware of. And it's like, okay, I'm here now. Then once we learn that thing, now we got to go on to the next phases. And it tends to be like that in your growth and in your development. We acquire, as babies, the knowledge of first looking around. And then you're looking around becomes months later to crawling around. And now that you're crawling around, now you say, okay, let's stand up now. Wobbly legs, standing up. And then now you're taking your steps. Now you're walking. Oh, we walking now. And now after you start walking, now your kids, the babies run around the house. Ah! Now they challenging themselves. They jumping off things. They climbing up the steps, going down. They doing everything under the sun for, they're on top of the refrigerator doing the nay or something. But that's how it works progressively over time. Have that childlike curiosity to want to get better. Have that childlike curiosity to want to get better. And I can almost, They say don't put guarantees, but I like to speak these things into the ethos. So I'm going to put the guarantee out there. I guarantee things will change in your life when you start to maximize your potential. Guarantee that. I know that my life is going to change. Guarantee it. Because there are going to be some things that I'm going to continue to do that I'm going to grow into, then grow out of. And then I want to just keep maximizing and exercising the potential. If I continue to seek growth and seek challenges, like Laura Boy said, the mind's going to get strengthened. Then that means I'm going to start thinking at a higher level. I'm going to be able to start thinking of things that I never thought of before. I'm going to be able to recognize opportunities that I never seen before. This is speaking from my eye. But the beauty of this is that you have the same exact opportunities as well to do anything that you want to do. Strengthen this. The body will follow. You strengthen this. The body will follow. Everything around us is created by someone or the idea of something or someone. And now we can actually enjoy the fruits of somebody else's creativity. What are you going to go out there and create for oneself, for others? What are you going to create out of your purpose? You have the opportunity to do it. Every day is an opportunity. Don't waste it. Maximize it. Don't waste the opportunity. Maximize it. Every occurrence can be the serendipity. It can be the serendipity. The hardship can end up being serendipity. The misfortunes can end up being the serendipity. Meaning that it's just the means that end up being a favorable outcome in the end. No matter how hard things get in our lives, we have the potential to learn and grow from, grow through, grow in, then grow out of the mosh pit of purpose. How about we just spend a little bit of time sitting with oneself, asking ourselves these questions, asking ourselves who we are, where we want to be. How can I act in accordance to my purpose of who I desire to bring into this ethos, into this world? How can I do that? We start to learn from the things around us. We start understanding and learning from our own testimonies, our own trials and tribulations. We can learn from these things. We can learn from others. Everything around us has potentiality to serve at a greater good, no matter how bad these things are. Because even if you can't extract the good from it, the beauty of it is that you can know what not to do for the next go round that led that situation to chaos, to entropy, atrophy, to destroy, to deteriorate. You can maximize our potential. Today was a wonderful, wonderful show. Super appreciative. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, that if I said anything that disturbed anybody, understand that it was these are subjective thoughts that's followed up with some objective truths, meaning that it's my opinions. There's some things that were stated that are truths. If it doesn't apply to you and it's not your truth, I understand, and it's not here to offend. You can live your truth the way you desire to live it. So I want to express that if any form of fashion that I disturbed or did something derogatory during this build, it wasn't with the intention to hurt. So that's why I say this, because I think it's showing courteous and sharing sentiment behind how we build with one another. Babe bro said, if you did, fuck them. I had to say it, right? Big Finny God, Big Finny God, absolutely Finny. I love you for that. Oh man, see that's what I mean about this space is so dope because we are free to think. We are free thinkers, and we do what we want to do because we have the power to control our own selves, and that's the beauty. I love my brother. I love my loved ones. I love everybody that showed up today. I love my people in real time, and I want to take more time out, and I do it. Sometimes I say to people, I see my cousin Danny today at the barbershop. I say, "Yo, cousin, I love you," and I do these things. We haven't seen each other in a minute since the last family gathering joint up there at the Knights of Columbus. But what I'm saying is that um being able to tell your people in real time, funny ways. Tell Bert I said was good. Tell Bert said I appreciate Bert for locking in and copping them double fits, the double sweatsuits. It's nothing but uh unlimited love, and I appreciate you, God, for not only spending your money, your resources, but supporting and doing those things that mean a lot to me, and it serves and help builds up this platform. Little do people know that every dollar that I get for the support, I dump back into the business, some form of fashion. When it comes to leveling up the equipment. Um, I'm working on getting another camera in due time. Your boy be able to switch the angles while we doing the live joints, which is gonna be dope in due time. Got a lot of ideas. It helps me invest into more merch, being able to buy some more things, and overall, it just keep the flow of energy going to and from, because that's how you complete the circuit. You complete the circuit by exerting energy and also receiving energy. It's always a give and take. It's always a give and take. If you're a person that's just always giving, unwilling to take in the sense of receiving, then you cut off the flow of energy. If you're a person that's always receiving and not willing to give, you cut off the flow of energy. And energy, energy can be created nor destroyed, but it can be transferred. So that's what we're doing with one another with when we spend our time, our money, our energy, our resources. It's always a constant flow of energy, transferring energy. And I also want to always exert the best energy I can to my loved ones. Charleston White said, man, when you show up to people, man, give them the best version of you. Thought that was super, super powerful and profound, especially when you're talking about children. So taking that analogy when it comes to children and adults, show up the best version of you. Whether people accept it or not, you know that at the end of the day, you just strengthening your abilities, which is maximizing your potential. Because we dealing in a world where some things, some people just may not want to receive your energy, but it's all good. As long as you put that energy out there, I got good energy. Somebody else gonna attract to that, and then now y'all can exchange good energy. Y'all can exchange resources. Y'all can exchange ideas. Y'all can exchange, business ventures and plans. Y'all can exchange, plays on how we can get to and from, which is utilize what we can offer each other. If there's something or a resource that I got that you may need, or throughout our conversation, and I got something I could throw the alley to, I'm gonna pass that on. Because I know that at the end of the day, you support me, you show me that you willing to do the same thing because you did it in real time. That's what I mean about that. All these things go deep for the God mentally. Because I understand that everything, people don't have to do none of these things. People spend their time, money, energy because they choose to, because they got the power of their own mind. So that they got the power of their own money, their finances, their ideas, etc. So when people express that, I show immense amount of gratitude and appreciation for that. So when people do anything on my behalf, whether it's a shout out, whether it's money spent, whether it's recognition, whether it's a salute, whether it's encouragement, yo, just keep going, my boy. All those things count for me. For me, all those things count. And I don't turn down my collar to any of it, because I understand that people don't gotta do it. It's just that people recognizing the energy that we exert, and they appreciate that. And I know that it means something to them, because they wouldn't say, yo, I see you, my boy. And give me the salute if they didn't feel like that. So what I'm saying is, in real time, I understand it. And I understand that I'm super, super appreciative of these things, because I know that, at any given time, people don't got to spend their time, money, or energy with you. When people that come on our platform in real time, this is what means a lot to me. It shows that People are spending their time, money, and attention. What's going on here? They could be doing anything else in the world. So that means a lot to me when people show up here in real time, because I know that all the things that people got going on in their lives, family, uh, jobs, time, energy, resources. Excuse me. Um, spending it with one another, and I feel that that is super super powerful, and I don't want to let down. Excuse me, man. I don't want to let down my peoples by not showing up the best version of myself. Some days your boy may be off. Sometimes I might be clicking. Sometimes it may be whatever it is. I'm still gonna give 110%, regardless. Sometimes a little bit under the weather. I ain't reached Coach Lucky status yet, where your boy ain't never been sick. I ain't get there yet. Mentally, strengthen that. I gotta get there. But start thinking, putting these things into practice. Start doing what I can from what I know of. You know, that's the only way I'll be able to get those next levels. But I gotta maximize where I'm at the moment. So what I'm saying is that we all got the potential to be great individuals and maximize and create our purpose. We can maximize our potential and create our purpose. And I know that um, everybody here are really, really intrinsic value people, because if nobody else value you, I value you, because I know what you guys mean to me. Just showing up, your presence alone mean that much to me. So I'm gonna say I continuously love you guys. I want you guys to go out there and just keep doing your thing. Be the best version of yourself. Show up the best version of you. So when people try to, play on you for whatever reason, man, that's water under the bridge. Ain't about nothing. Ain't about nothing, because mentally you're not giving your energy to nobody else. You got control over that. No matter what people say about you and what spaces, what negative things, people, whatever it may be, just bounce right off you. Because at the end of the day, when you still exert that positivity or that great mindset or just being in your divine um purpose, the other individuals that love and support that going to attract to that. They're gonna sift through the bull crap. You're not listening to what the other person said about you in what environment. Now they take you on face value on how you treat them, because you showed up the best version when you came in contact with them. So continue to do that. No matter what's going on around you. No matter what's going on around you, keep showing up the best version of you. It's going to pay in ways that you may unexpectedly experience. You may say, man, I don't know what purpose is going to serve, but I know I feel good by doing it. That alone right there is powerful. You just waking up, just feeling good about the things that you do and being the person that you are. That's value, because you're gonna come in contact with people. You're gonna teach. You're gonna teach and learn at the same time about how this life thing works. You come in contact with some of these people, these environments, our loved ones. All these things, you know, give off energy. So if you constantly showing up and putting out that great energy, nothing would there's you always bigger than a problem. There's gonna be small issues that try to, take you off your pivot. There'll be small things that try to take you off your pivot, and it ain't gonna mean nothing, because you're already built up here mentally. You're already prepared and ready to slay the dragon, no matter who come in your space, because you already got autonomy over oneself. You already got autonomy over oneself. You ain't give your mind to everybody else. You got power over that. You ain't give it to the food. You ain't give it to the money. You ain't give it to another personnel. You ain't give it to the job. You ain't give it to the business. You ain't give it to now. You give it to oneself, because everything comes from you. So once we able to maximize that and understand that and keep learning through these things, there's nothing in the world that you can't accomplish if you choose to do it. So that's my spill for today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful episode. I appreciate everybody that popped in, whoever see this now, whoever see it in the near future. Understand that we're going to be better individuals tomorrow. We're going to be better individuals tomorrow. Just keep learning and growing. There's nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Keep maximizing your potential. Expect the unexpected by just preparing yourself every day that you walk outside the house. And then when you encounter something that threw you off balance, learn from it. What happened here? Evaluate it. Dissect it. Oh, I seen this before. It's raining outside. Let's watch the weather news channel. Okay, you know what? Even if it says sunny outside, pack the umbrella just in case. Yeah, pack it just in case. So now while we going on our journey, I'm prepared. I'm one step ahead. Even if it don't rain, I'm still prepared for it. That's the power of your mindset. That's the power of you. Don't let nobody take that away from you. It's been a wonderful, respectfully great episode of the Respectfully Great podcast. And I will see you next week on Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's super, super powerful that we spread those messages in those formats. That's the biggest reward by sending a message, telling a friend, and tell a friend. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You do that thing today, because it allows us to just grow our community, grow in so many ways to where we can offer the message to other people. So when people come back and they see this for the first time or the 10th time, um, they be able to extract something from it, something that it can be positive for them. If there's something that they disliked or they want to challenge, they more than welcome to do that, because now they got newfound knowledge that they can take back to their hub, evaluate, break down, dissect, and then now they can come back to the drawing board with new, profound, more knowledge that they can share with us as a collective. And that's what we need as a community, have these think tanks and be able to build with one another in ways that we never imagined. So that's the premise. Um, have a great, great, wonderful weekend. Be safe. Um, keep being prepared. Keep maximizing your potential. And I will see you next Thursday. Respectfully. Let's end it with a round of applause.